The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the hardwood floor of Kate's bedroom. It should have been a scene of tranquility, but the air hung thick with a silence that was heavy, almost suffocating. Detective Miller, a seasoned investigator with a weary gaze, surveyed the scene with a practiced eye. The bedroom door, locked from the inside, had been forced open. It hung ajar, a silent testament to the violence that had unfolded within. On the plush carpet in the center of the room lay the body of Kate, her eyes forever fixed on a point beyond the ceiling. Her usually vibrant face was now a mask of terror, frozen in a silent scream. The crimson stain blooming around her chest painted a gruesome picture, a stark contrast to the pristine white of her silk nightgown. Miller approached the body cautiously. His eyes scanned every inch of the room, searching for any clue, any detail that might explain the inexplicable. The room itself was meticulously organized, almost sterile in its neatness. Yet, there was an unsettling detail that sent chills down his spine. On the wall, scrawled in what appeared to be blood, was a chilling message. "You can't catch what you can't see." The sight of the message sent a shiver down his spine. It was a taunt, a challenge from an unseen adversary. The room, locked from the inside, whispered of impossible things. The only witness, a dead woman, held the answers to a mystery that seemed to defy logic itself. News of Kate's death spread through the town like wildfire. Whispers followed the tragedy, twisting and turning with each retelling. The locked room, the cryptic message, the sheer brutality of the murder, it all pointed to something beyond the realm of the ordinary. People whispered of curses, of vengeful spirits, of things that went bump in the night. The police, bound by logic and evidence, were baffled. The locked room presented an impossible puzzle, a crime scene that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The message on the wall, with its chilling implication of the supernatural, only deepened the mystery. The investigation stalled, hampered by a lack of concrete leads and the growing fear that something truly sinister was at play. Desperate for answers, the police department took an unprecedented step. They called in a team of paranormal investigators, their skepticism overshadowed by the sheer strangeness of the case. The investigators, led by the enigmatic Dr. Reed, arrived with their arsenal of electromagnetic sensors and infrared cameras, ready to confront the unseen. The house, once filled with Kate's laughter and warmth, now echoed with the whispers of the dead and the hum of scientific equipment. As the investigators went about their work, the townspeople watched with a mix of fear and fascination. Could there be truth to the whispers? Was Kate's death the work of a vengeful spirit, a force beyond human comprehension? The line between reality and superstition began to blur, and a sense of unease settled over the town like a shroud. Amidst the growing speculation and fear, a glimmer of hope emerged from an unexpected source. A witness came forward claiming to have seen a woman fleeing from Kate's house on the night of the murder. The woman, the witness claimed, bore a striking resemblance to Kate herself. This revelation sent a shockwave through the investigation. Could it be that Kate had a secret twin, a doppelganger hidden from the world? The police, initially skeptical, were forced to reconsider their assumptions. The possibility of a twin, however unlikely, offered a rational explanation for the locked room mystery. The investigation shifted focus, now centered on finding this mysterious twin. As the police delved deeper into Kate's past, they uncovered a web of secrets, hidden identities, and long-forgotten connections. It seemed that Kate, the woman everyone thought they knew, had been living a double life, her true self shrouded in mystery. The police investigation, fueled by the revelation of a possible twin, soon led them to a quiet suburb miles away. There, they found Katerina, a woman who was the spitting image of Kate, living a life of quiet normalcy. Katerina, when confronted with the news of her twin's death, reacted with a grief so profound, so raw, that even the most hardened detective couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy. However, as the initial shock wore off, inconsistencies began to appear in Katerina's story. Her alibi for the night of the murder was flimsy at best, and her knowledge of Kate's life seemed oddly incomplete for someone who shared such a close bond. The police, their suspicions aroused, began to suspect that Katerina's grief might be a carefully constructed facade, a mask to hide a darker truth. Under the scrutiny of the law, Katerina began to crack. Her composure, so carefully maintained, faltered, revealing flashes of anger, resentment, and a chilling lack of remorse. The evidence, circumstantial at first, began to mount against her. A fingerprint found at the crime scene, a strand of hair on Kate's clothing, all pointed to Katerina as the prime suspect. The whispers in town changed their tune. The supernatural theories were replaced with something far more sinister, the chilling realization that the monster they had feared was not a ghost, but someone far more familiar, someone who walked among them, wearing the face of the woman they had mourned. The trial of Katerina for the murder of her twin sister Kate became a media sensation. The courtroom was packed every day with reporters, curious onlookers, and townsfolk eager to witness the drama unfold. The prosecution, armed with a growing body of evidence, painted a picture of Katerina as a woman driven by jealousy and resentment, who had finally snapped and taken her sister's life in a fit of rage. Katerina, maintaining her innocence, presented a convincing counter-narrative. She spoke of a deep, unbreakable bond with Kate, a love that transcended even death. She claimed that the police, desperate for a conviction, were framing her, twisting evidence to fit their narrative. The courtroom became a battleground of truth and deception, where every word, every gesture was scrutinized for any hint of guilt or innocence. The defense, capitalizing on the earlier supernatural theories surrounding the case, hinted at alternative explanations. They suggested that perhaps there was more to the story than met the eye, that forces beyond human comprehension were at play. The jury, caught between compelling arguments and a lack of conclusive evidence, grappled with the weight of their decision. The trial dragged on for weeks, each day revealing another layer of the complex relationship between the twin sisters. The courtroom became a stage for a twisted family drama, a tragedy played out in the harsh glare of public scrutiny. As the trial neared its end, the tension in the room was palpable. The jury, their faces etched with the gravity of their task, prepared to deliver their verdict. The jury's verdict came after days of deliberation. Guilty. Katerina, her face a mask of disbelief and fury, was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of her twin sister, a crime she vehemently denied committing. The town, relieved to have the ordeal behind them, slowly began to heal. The whispers died down, replaced by a sense of closure, albeit a bittersweet one. However, the story didn't end there. Years later, a prison guard making his rounds was startled by a voice coming from Katerina's cell. "You want to know the truth?" Katerina asked, her voice raspy from years of disuse. The guard, intrigued, paused, a silent invitation for her to continue. "I'm not Katerina," she confessed, a sly smile playing on her lips. "I am Kate." What followed was a chilling confession, a tale of desperation, betrayal, and ultimately survival. The truth, as Kate revealed it, was far more twisted than anyone could have imagined. She had been leading a double life, working at a brothel to escape her dreary existence. Katerina, discovering her secret, threatened to expose her, to shatter her carefully constructed world. Fearful of the consequences of her husband finding out, Kate had acted on impulse. She had killed Katerina, staging the scene to look like a supernatural event, hoping to divert suspicion. The plan, audacious in its conception, had almost worked. But in a cruel twist of fate, she had ended up trapped in her own web of deception, convicted of her own murder. The guard, shaken by her confession, wrestled with the implications of her words. Was this the truth, or the ramblings of a desperate woman clinging to sanity? The answer, lost in the labyrinth of Kate's lies, would likely never be known. Kate, her secret revealed, seemed to find a perverse sense of satisfaction. She had outsmarted them all, played the role so convincingly that even the law had been fooled. But her victory was a hollow one, her freedom a distant dream. She would spend the rest of her days trapped in her gilded cage, haunted by the ghost of the life she had taken and the love she had betrayed. The locked room mystery, it turned out, had a simple, albeit tragic, explanation. The heart of a woman pushed to the edge, willing to do whatever it took to protect her secrets. Please like and subscribe. I will be forever grateful.